white structure is where we park the Argo and the tractor so they don't get rained on. It's right beside the cabin. Hoping to put in a permanent gazebo there. Hope maybe this year. Maybe. We'll see. And that pathway, of course, leads straight up to where I'm standing on the steps. Got a new chair. Look at that in a minute. And that down there, that's where the creek usually is. It's all dried up this time of year, though, usually. See that over there? Right between those trees. Hang on. I don't know why this thing keeps asking me to do that, but it's annoying. Right there. That dark crack in the rock. It's actually hard to see. I'll get closer. We call that the bat cave. Because we do get bats around here. And if you walk on top of that way up there, on that ridge, you can enter that set of rocks from the side. And it's the only place we can figure the bats must be living. Because you don't see them in the trees or anything. So that's called the bat cave. And that leads down to water. There's a boat down there. And apparently there's some beavers living under the dock down there. So I'm going to go down a little bit later. Probably tomorrow. It's probably a bit late now. And see if the beavers are still there. Because they're wrecking the dock. Because that's what beavers do. They wreck stuff. Not the lovely animals that they're made out to be. They're actually extremely destructive. You chop down perfectly healthy trees and then they leave them to die. We've done it to several trees around here where you come back and there'll be a tree like that one just chewed to the ground and just left there because all they wanted was, the food on the inner bark. And then they just leave it. They're not selective in picking the older trees or the sicker trees or the ones that are already about to fall over. No, I picked the big strong ones. Anyway, there's that lovely lake. I love it when it does that, when it sparkles. When the sun sparkles on the water. It's just shimmering. It's amazing. Plenty of lily pads down there. I'm not sure what type of year when they bloom. I think it's later in the year because I'm not usually up here in July. Too buggy for me. Probably why I get a lousy headache. Too hot, too buggy. Whew. It blinded my camera a little bit. It blinded me a little bit. Didn't see any critters running around either. So quiet. You hear a train, if you can hear that. There's a trestle at the end of this lake. It's part of the main lines that run through Perry Sound, where I'm just going to say the main junction because there are train tracks everywhere going in every direction. So And some more lily pads. Mm-hmm. It's the tall grass. I don't know if the water's low. There's 2 rocks across the way. And there. Hard to get them on here. Anyway, when they're above the water's at about the right level. Sometimes the water's high enough that you can't see the rocks. Anyway. My husband came up and brought me supplies. And he's coming back on Friday. So I'm going to hope to get a couple things done. Larch is still on the island. I wonder if you can see that. See if we can see the larch on the island. Just see it peeking through there. Anyway. That, of course, is an aspen tree. I should get a better view of that. In a minute. There we go. Beautiful big aspen. It's gorgeous. It guards our cabin. I mean, look at the size of that. It's just amazing. Anyway. Oh, yeah. So we went into town and we picked out a bunch of these chairs. But I was really too sick to go back and buy them. I actually couldn't even get up out of off the couch. That's why I couldn't go home either. I couldn't travel. There was no way I could get up. So my husband went back into town and unloaded the Canyon Arrow. That's what we call the small truck. And loaded a bunch of these in. And got some in red and some in white. And one wooden one just like pine log chair. It's going to go over by the outhouse. That's going to be nice because there's a nice deck outside the outhouse now where you can just sit. So a nice chair for there. These are resin. I always wanted something like this because you don't have to paint them and you can leave them out all year. The other ones we had, they had to be painted. That job never got finished because I'm the only person in the family who apparently knows how to paint. So they never got finished. And we had to put them away. And this is one more thing to do. Oh, the fall's coming. Everything has to be put away. You always forget something, and something gets wrecked. So I said, we should just get some of those resin ones. I mean, they're amazing. They last forever. They come in really nice colors. You can leave them outside, and they're actually comfortable, and they're nice. They're nice looking. This is nothing non-traditional about this Muskoka chair. It's perfect. It's perfect. We got a bunch of white ones and a bunch of red ones and a plain wooden log chair. Anyway, nobody out here. Nobody fun to play with. Not even a bird. Gee whiz. It's usually a boat going by about now. They usually make their last run of the night. These guys have a houseboat. They go back and forth all day. Oh, dragonfly. anybody out here? A bee. Nope. Okay, this is it. Or later, I guess.